Hi, welcome to Curious Collection. I'm Will.
I'm Cinnamon.
Today we want to talk about our listing process and how we're able to do 50 listings in a day between the two of us. Honestly, 50 listings for us, that is a relatively normal day.
It is.
We have actually put up 100 listings in a day. So it comes down to your process. When I first started selling on eBay, I would take a single item, I would photograph it, I would then take
Clean
that
it
photo.
first.
I would clean it, photograph it. Then I would go do my comp, and then I would create my listing. Now we clean our items, we sort our items, we photograph all of our items all together. Then we can take those images, we can utilize Google Lens, and we can
just
plow through. So the other day, I brought some visual aids. The other day, we bought 170 of these license plates that I've got here. And you can see some of them are hotels, some of them are, sports teams, some of them are Disney related with regard to the parks. So what I did is I went through and you see there's two of them that are the same. I actually put everything together that is the same theme. So all of the rides are the same, are all together. All of the, character plates, we'll flip through, Epcot, all of the Epcot were together. All of the, Walt Disney World, all of those got listed together. So that helps us. We can do a variety of things when it comes to the listing. If we're doing everything is related to Walt Disney World and they all have Mickey Mouse on there, we can just sell similar, change a couple item specifics, change the title, change the photo, possibly change the comp price, and we can hit list. And we can have a listing created on these license plates in probably 3 to 4 minutes per plate.
It's all about being more efficient. I do the same thing on my jewelry. Right. So I will go through and I will sort, because not all jewelry that I get in those big lots is quality enough to put on eBay. So I go through, I sort it all out. I figure out what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to, get rid of in other live person sales, things like that. And then I clean all the jewelry that I'm going to list. And then I grab them in order. So I will grab all of the rhinestone earrings, and then I will get the pearl earrings, and I shoot them in order so that when I go to list, I have all of my white rhinestone earrings together so that I can utilize that sell similar. For us, we focus on making sure that the items that we have, the listings that we have, are the highest quality listing. So we work real hard on obviously, those key terms in the title, but we also go through and I answer all of those item specifics. If I try to sell similar to someone else's item, 9 times out of 10, they do not have their item specifics answered. And, we've talked about the fact that eBay is pulling those item specific information instead of just those titles. So they want the item specifics answered. They want pictures. So, we always take a bare minimum of 6 pictures for most of, the license plates. You don't need 6 pictures. You just need front and back, which is nice. And same thing with the magazines.
Right. I could just interject there. If there's a defect on the product, we will add additional photos for that. So the license plates, most of these are brand new. So again, front and back was sufficient, but there were a couple of them with some small dents, some scratching, or some maybe some corner damage or something. And then we would do a close up. We use a little letter opener as an index to kind of point out where the damage is, to help our customer understand what exactly they're getting. If they do look at all their photos, they will have a complete understanding what the product is.
Right. So those are some of the things that the AI description. And I know a lot of you guys are saying, I would never use the AI description. It's too flowery. It's too this, it's too that. And that's true. It really is. but it is getting better. Even just from, a month ago when we started using it to now, there is much less that I have to edit in those AI descriptions.
The one thing that always gets me is you don't know what country the item was made in, and on some of the newer stuff you can assume that it was probably made in China, but we don't put things in item specifics unless they're very we're certain of what the actual specific is, and the AI will pull that up and they'll say how special the item is because it has this mysterious origin. Right. Let's be real. Like, Disney doesn't have anything with mysterious origin that you put out there in the theme parks.
Right. So, that's some of the things that we do. Templates are another thing that really saves us time, so that we're able to efficiently get our listings up. When I had my airplane photos or my AP photos, we have a template that's already set up for those types of photographs, so that it's already in the category. It's already got the item specifics for the most part in there, and then we can just take that template and we can add some pictures to it and change up the title a little bit, make sure everything else is good, and then we can just go from there.
Right. And we do the same thing with magazines. So if I know that we're going to be listing magazines, I will sort all the magazines, put them in chronological order, and I will add all the relevant item specifics to the template. It takes a little extra time. It might take you 5 to 10 minutes to fill out your template exactly the way you want it. But then once that's done, all you're doing is changing the title and changing the photographs.
You're saving so much time, which is why we're able to just, put our nose to the grindstone. And, like he said, there's days when we've put in well over 100 listings so that, we could bulk up the print ad store. Right. Or just bulk up the main store that we have. We've spent the last year, when I've been working with him, really focusing on trying to get some depth in that store. So, we're able to do that because we have learned to look at our process and figure out how we can do it better, more efficiently, so that we get more listings up.
Right. And this actually starts in the beginning of the process. It doesn't, it predates, the taking the items and cleaning them and sorting them. It goes all the way back to when you're buying the item. So when we go out and we make a buy, we're tending to, we try to stick to specific categories or, a specific niche within that category. So if we're looking for, jewelry, it's not all jewelry. We're looking at maybe mid-century modern jewelry. And then we try, if we have the opportunity, we'll buy in 20, 50, 100 pieces all at once. Yeah. So that way it helps us and puts us in the right direction.
Right. All of those plates. Collections. Right. Like the license plates. He bought, 150 license plates or 700.
170.
Those airplane photos, we bought thousands of airplane photos. The AP photos, there were 200 AP photos when we bought them. So when we buy collections like that, we're doing it intentionally because we know going in that that's going to be not necessarily an easier list, but at least we can sell similar or utilize templates or,
It simplifies the process to begin with. And it also, if you're a collector of license plates, then you can come to our store and you can buy multiple pieces. So that also helps us. Again, we do free shipping. If you buy 2 pieces, you save, 15%. So you get a little bit back by buying multiple pieces. That would be similar to a combined shipping discount. But if there's any difference in that, then we get the additional profit as well. Right. So it works for both sides. It works for our buyers and they get that discount. It works for us and that we get to list items that are easier to list and brings more similar product to the marketplace.
Yeah. So those are some of the things, we work on our computer. We don't list on the phones. We work on the computer for a couple of different reasons. One, we are in our office. This is work time. So we are sitting here in our office. We're doing our listings. The rest of the world is outside of our office. We can close the door if we need to so that we can focus. This is work time. We have a schedule. We work from, after our walk until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's our work time. That helps to kind of discipline yourself. We also work on the computers because we receive images for our listings from different sources. We have the phone. Sometimes we take images on the phone, the camera. Sometimes we use my my digital camera here. We've got my microscope whenever I have, photos for those maker's marks and things like that, or the photographs where we've got to really zoom in on stuff. Then we use our USB microscope. So we've got images from that as well.
Right. And then we also utilize 3 different scanners depending on the size and the type of material that we're scanning. So there's a variety of different ways that we're receiving images. The computer's the best way to compile them. And then we actually are able to take and share them between our 2 terminals on our network so that we can both work out of that same bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's beneficial to us. Sometimes we divide and conquer. I do my jewelry, he does his ephemera and stuff like that, and that's awesome. So, we'll separate the photos off. I've got my own folder. I'll throw my photos in there so that it's not, filling up the shared drive. But it is nice when we do work together on a project, then we can just both, okay, right. You're working on that one, I'm working on the next one. And, we've got all of the photographs there. So it's very convenient. Right. I love technology sometimes. Right.
So one of the things that I see a lot of people talk about is, the platform's changed so much over time. And I absolutely agree. The platform has completely changed. If you created a listing 5 years ago, the item specifics that you put in there or didn't put in there, they've completely changed. We see it with all of our listings consistently over time. Back at the beginning, the origins of the platform, there was no photo hosting. So you couldn't show a picture of the item. So, that's one of the things we just have to be flexible with.
We do.
I'm not going to put up an item, and I wouldn't even consider putting up an item without a photograph.
Well, and I wouldn't consider purchasing an item without a photograph.
Right. So, the platform has changed over time. Some things to the better for sellers, some things that maybe haven't been.
Yeah.
We acknowledge that. We do not ignore that. It is certainly a case. It can be very frustrating. We are just trying to be flexible and move in that direction. So I did want to acknowledge that. A lot of people post that in the comments about how frustrated they are about changes. But, the reality is if we want to keep up with the changes that are happening, we have to start now. We have to start making the appropriate changes so that our listings will stay relevant through the next 5 years.
Absolutely. And again, these are some things that we've learned to make ourselves more efficient on the platform. A year from now, there might be 5 other things, or 5 different things, or some of these things might not be relevant anymore, So that's the thing is we do have to. It is so hard to change, right? It really, really is when you're I've got it figured out. I know how to do this. I know how to make a listing. And then the platform changes. And now you have to stop and you have to rethink the whole thing. And you're but no, I know how to do this. This is what I've been doing for the last 20 years. But the platform's not the same as it was 20 years ago. So you do have to kind of try to adapt to the best of your ability. Not everything might be relevant to your business, and that's okay too.
So one of the other things that we've done is that we utilize business policies. And I know that there's people out there that aren't familiar with business policies and they don't have set up business policies. So I would encourage you, if you're doing this as a business, or you're doing this even as a part-time business where you're doing maybe more than 10 listings a month, set up your business policies. You can pull them out of the drop-down menu then, and it will help you with just not having to click those boxes of what you're doing with your shipping and how it's laid out. And then if there is a change, because again, the world's full of it, we can then go back and we can make appropriate changes. So when we decided to take our store and do free shipping, we created a free shipping template. And then we were able to go in and we took all of the, as an example, all of the first class package listings, and we were able to convert those over to the Ground Advantage shipping method with free shipping. So it wasn't a massive shift for us, in that we basically were able to take 200 items at a time and change the method. So rather than having to go through 200 items individually, go in, edit every single one of them,
I couldn't imagine.
Absolutely saved us a ton of time. And, the other part is that we believe that volume is how we are going to survive with the current reselling world. The overall economy seems to be sliding in the wrong direction. And the way that we've identified to be able to get through that is through volume. So if we're not listing, 20, 50, 100 listings maybe a day, I don't know that we're going to have the right product selection in front of our customer to be able to get them to, jump on that.
Right. No, that's real. So we're just every day we're just going through and we're going, okay, well, how can we better our business today going forward? So these are some of the tips and tricks that we've learned over time to try to be more efficient and to get those listings up. What have you guys learned over time to kind of try to do better and more efficient and because the thing is, like, sometimes you learn these things. Education is expensive, right? So how many listings did we do in a slow manner? How many listings did he do one at a time?
Right. When I had the process and I was still trying to figure out how to do a listing, I might get 5 listings done in a day or 12 done in a day. And if I had 12 listings in one day, I was ecstatic. And we're talking about like 6 hours. How was I only doing a listing every half an hour? Looking back, I don't even understand how inefficient I was.
Right.
But today, there's been growth. There's been consistency, working the process daily. And, you get tired of, going back and forth, grab a piece of dishware, run to the kitchen to wash it, come back, take a photograph, list it, go grab another one, do the same exact process over and over again. It's like, why am I running? I spend more time running through the house trying to wash a dish than I do actually doing listings. So,
but you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So that's that's why we make these videos, is to just try to share what we've learned in our experience, what we're still learning. We're not in any way, shape, or form saying that we are a perfect system. We know that we're not. That's part of the engagement that we want with you guys is, these are the things that we found. What have you found that works for you? What have you found that you're like, oh, you know what? You guys are doing that and that's great, but have you thought about doing it this way?
Yes,
we are very receptive. Please, if you've got something, share with the class.
Yeah. Take any of your tips and tricks that maybe we haven't covered, drop them down in the message section, please. Like and subscribe.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. Good luck to you out there. Happy Thanksgiving. We won't be on tomorrow, but we'll see you Friday.